Alexia Reed had been on her feet for 12 hours straight. Her lower back ached like fire, her ankles swelled against the stiff red uniform shoes, and the polite smile plastered on her face felt like it might crack into a permanent grimace. Every time a guest at the Grand Soul Riverside Hotel snapped their fingers or barked, "More wine." Without eye contact, she swallowed the bitterness rising in her throat. This was her reality: 2 jobs in one day, first a morning shift at a cramped Gangnam cafe, then straight to evening service for Seoul's ultra-rich. Tomorrow would be the same grind, because survival didn't take days off. The hotel ballroom shimmered under crystal chandeliers, a sea of designer gowns and tuxedos worth more than her tiny apartment's yearly rent. Men with Rolexes that gleamed like weapons mingled with women whose diamond necklaces screamed old money. Alexia glided between tables, red apron crisp over her uniform, balancing a silver tray of champagne flutes with practiced precision. To them, she was invisible, a young black woman in service attire, just another face blending into the opulent blur. They never saw the exhaustion etched in her dark eyes, the way her hands trembled slightly from skipped meals. Nobody cared about her story. She was funding it all herself. Her grandmother's dialysis ran $5,000 a month in Seoul's overpriced clinics, a debt that grew like cancer. Her younger brother, Jamal, had 1 semester left at Yonsei University, her promise to their late mother, whispered over a hospital bed 2 years ago. "Get him through, Lexi. Make us proud." Promises were chains Alexia wore willingly, even as they ground her down. She'd crossed oceans from Atlanta to Korea 5 years back, chasing better pay in the expat service scene, only to find the same glass ceilings and sneering superiority. But Alexia had a secret that could shatter this glittering world. Beneath her right hand's thin black glove, blamed on hygiene rules, sparkled a 6-carat black diamond ring, flanked by blood-red rubies in white gold. Ha Sang-joon had slid it onto her finger 10 months ago, in a secluded Jeju Island temple under moonlight, with only a silent monk as witness. Ha Sang-joon, the shadow king of Korea's underworld, boss of the Iron Lotus Syndicate. Tattoos of snarling dragons coiled up his arms, hidden under tailored black suits. His eyes held the cold promise of graves he'd filled without hesitation. They'd met 18 months prior at a discreet Itaewon speakeasy where she waitressed late shifts. He sat alone in her section for 4 hours, nursing whiskey, watching her command the chaos with quiet fire. No demands, just observation. Night 5, he spoke. "What's your name?" Night 6. "Do you fear men like me?" Her honest reply, fears for those with something left to break, drew his rare, genuine smile like a blade sheathing itself. Sparks ignited. Sang-joon offered escape. 1 call and her burdens vanished. Private nurses, tuition paid, luxury without the grind. But Alexia refused. "I need this," she'd said. "The part of me that stands on my own." He hated it, watching her serve fools unworthy of her shadow, but he honored her steel. Tonight he was due at 9 p.m., the gala's silent benefactor, his syndicate's donations bankrolling the extravagance. No one knew. Alexia glanced at her watch. 45 minutes left. Survive the shift and she'd collapse into his arms. Table 5 caught her eye, rowdy airs in flashy suits, led by one in blinding white, smirking like the world owed him tribute. Seon Woo she recognized from tabloids. 27, heir to a chaebol shipping fortune, arrogance incarnate. She approached cautiously, tray steady. Just another pour. What could go wrong? Before we continuing this thrilling story, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Where are you watching from? Like, comment, and share. Alexia approached table 5 with the precision of a tightrope walker, her red uniform apron starched to perfection, champagne bottle poised like a fragile peace offering. The air hummed with entitlement. 6 young chaebol heirs in silk shirts unbuttoned too low, laughter booming like thunder over crystal glasses. They snapped at passing staff, tossed wadded napkins like confetti, their voices slurred with imported scotch and unchecked privilege. At the table's head lounged Seon Woo, 27-year-old heir to the Woo global shipping empire, a $4 billion shadow he'd never cast himself. His white suit gleamed unnaturally under the chandeliers, tailored to his lean frame, gold watch catching light like a predator's fang. His smile was a blade, sharp, empty, promising cruelty. "Refill," Xian Wu muttered without looking up from his phone, thrusting his flute forward like she was a vending machine. Alexia nodded, professional mask intact, golden liquid streaming flawlessly into the glass. Her hands were steady, she'd poured through worse chaos. Then disaster struck. One of his cronies slammed a fist on the table, roaring at a viral clip, the vibration rippling upward. Her tray wobbled. The bottle slipped. Champagne cascaded across Xian Wu's lap, soaking his pristine white trousers, staining the jacket, flooding the tablecloth in a glistening tide. Time fractured. Xian Wu exploded upward, chair screeching across polished oak floors, face purpling with rage, veins poolsing at his temples. What the actual hell? His roar sliced the ballroom's murmur, conversations halted, the string quartet faltered mid-note. Hundreds of eyes jeweled, judgmental, swiveled to the spectacle. Alexia's pulse hammered her ribs. Instinct kicked in. She snatched napkins, dabbing frantically. "Sir, I'm so sorry. An accident." The table jolted. "Let me get the manager. Cover the cleaning." "You'll get more than that, you clumsy bitch." Xian Wu's voice boomed, performative venom drawing gasps and smirks from the elite crowd. His friends howled, phones whipping out, lenses trained on her humiliation like vultures. "This suit's 50 million won. You think your tips cover it?" Alexia's throat constricted. "Please, sir, I'll pay it back. Extra shifts, whatever it takes." He seized her wrist, grip vice-like, bruising bone. She stifled a yelp, yanking futilely against his alcohol-fueled strength. "Pay! Oh, you'll pay." The slur twisted uglier. "You people always spill first, grovel later. Time you learned respect." The racial barb landed like acid, her blood chilling. Guests whispered, filmed, but none intervened, fascinated spectators in their gilded cage. Xian Wu's eyes gleamed sadistic glee, scanning the room for maximum audience. "Someone get me clippers, now!" Alexia's stomach plummeted. Clippers? A passing server froze, pale. One of Xian Wu's entourage eagerly fished electric clippers from a jacket pocket. Party trick turned weapon, handing them over with a grin. "No," she breathed, backing away, heart thundering. "Please, sir, don't." Too late. He yanked her forward by her braids, forcing her down to the cold floor amid scattered champagne flutes. The crowd leaned in, phones aloft, the nightmare uncoiling. Alexia glanced at her watch, 9 p.m. sharp. Sangjun was due any second. Hold on, she prayed silently. Just hold on. Xian Wu's grip tightened on Alexia's braids, yanking her head back with brutal force, the electric clippers buzzing to life in his other hand like a swarm of angry hornets. "You think you can ruin my night and walk away?" He snarled, voice echoing through the stunned ballroom, performing for the sea of shocked faces now circling closer. The wealthy guests, dripping in handbox and bespoke suits, leaned in, whispers rippling like silk, phones held high, capturing every second for their feeds. No one moved to stop him. No one cared. To them, she was entertainment, a disposable prop in their gilded world. "Please," Alexia whimpered, tears stinging her eyes, hands scrabbling at his wrist as he forced her to her knees on the unyielding oak floor. The red uniform apron bunched around her waist, champagne stains mocking her professionalism. Her mind flashed to Jamal's tuition bill, Grandma's next dialysis, the ring hidden under her glove, her secrets meaningless now. "Sir, I'll do anything, just stop." But her pleas fueled his glee, that smug white-suit smirk widening as his friends jeered. "Make her pay, Wu. Teach the help." The first pass of the clippers sheared through her thick braids with a vicious whine, long coils tumbling to the floor like severed ropes, scattering across the spilled champagne. Alexia sobbed, the sound raw and broken, each strip of stubble left behind feeling like flesh torn away. Years of growth, nurtured through sleepless nights, twisted into styles that made her feel beautiful despite the grind, gone in jagged patches. Xian Wu wasn't precise. He hacked wildly, laughing maniacally, leaving her scalp mottled and uneven, a grotesque caricature. "Look at you now," he taunted, shoving her face toward a nearby mirror propped for selfies. "Even trade your pride for my suit. Fair right." The crowd murmured approval, a few chuckles escaping manicured lips, flashes popping like gunfire. Women in diamond chokers averted eyes but kept filming. Men with fat cigars nodded, as if this was justice served. Alexia's world blurred through tears, humiliation burning hotter than the clipper's vibration against her skull. She touched the ruins tentatively, fingers coming away with stray hairs, her reflection a stranger, young, frightened, utterly helpless. You people need to know your place. Xian Wu spat the racial venom, tossing the clippers aside with a clatter. He shoved her sprawling, her palms scraping the floor amid the debris of her dignity. She curled inward, apron askew, body shaking as phones clicked relentlessly. 9 minutes passed. Where was Sangjun? The doors remained shut, the nightmare stretching eternal. Guests drifted back to conversations, the quartet resuming a jaunty waltz over her muffled cries. Indifferent, always indifferent. Alexia's spirit fractured, independence shattered in front of Seoul's elite. But deep down, a spark flickered rage, waiting for its monster. The massive oak doors of the Grand Seoul Riverside Ballroom burst open with a thunderous crack, reverberating like a gunshot through the indifferent chatter. The temperature plunged, chandeliers flickering as if flinching. Every head snapped toward the entrance, the quartet's waltz dying mid-phrase. Ha Sangjun stepped through, a silhouette carved from midnight, black suit hugging his powerful frame like armor, dragon tattoos snaking up his neck from unbuttoned collar, visible warnings of violence etched in ink. His jaw was granite, posture coiled lethality, but his eyes, dark voids promising oblivion, froze the room solid. Guests parted instinctively, silk rustling, heels scraping back, primal fear recognizing the predator in human skin. His gaze sliced the crowd, landing on Alexia. Crumpled on the floor, red apron twisted, hands cradling her ravaged scalp, braids strewn like battlefield dead amid champagne pools. Xian Wu loomed above, white suit spattered, clippers discarded at his feet, smug grin fatting like smoke. 3 heartbeats of suffocating silence. Then Sangjun devoured the distance in 4 predatory strides, suit jacket shed with surgical calm. He draped it over her trembling shoulders, enveloping her in his scent, sandalwood and steel, shielding, claiming. "Rise, Yobo," he murmured, voice velvet over razor, soft for her alone yet chilling the air. Alexia staggered up on numb legs, his arm a steel anchor guiding her behind him, his body now a fortress between her and the fool. Only then did he pivot to Xian Wu, eyes unblinking death. Xian Wu's smirk cracked, hands rising defensively, clippers buzz still echoing in memory. "Hey, who the hell are you? This waitress wrecked my..." "Drop them." Sangjun's command didn't shout, it sliced, final as a guillotine. Xian Wu froze, friends silent, phones lowering. "I said drop before I sever the hand." Clippers hit oak with a pathetic clink. Xian Wu rallied bravado, straightening his stained jacket. "Listen, tattoo trash, this is private. She embarrassed me." "She's no waitress." Sangjun's words landed like bombs. Without breaking stare, his hand found Alexia's gloved right one, peeling it away. The 6-carat black diamond ring ignited under lights, rubies bleeding crimson fire, a fortune's screaming power. "She's my wife!" Gasps rippled. Xian Wu blanched ghost-white, cronies stumbling back. A socialite dropped her clutch. Sangjun's voice stayed lethally even. "This gala, my money bought it. Every flute you guzzled, every chandelier this building mine. Iron Lotus funds your illusions." Xian Wu's mouth gaped soundlessly. Sangjun leaned in, whisper carrying like frost. "You touched my blood, shaved her for sport, filmed her breaking before these vipers." His smile was apocalypse. "Now I dismantle you, wealth, name, air in your lungs, piece by stripped piece, till regret's your only heirloom." Xian Wu staggered, arrogance crumbling. "You can't, my father." Sangjun's laugh was ice cracking. "I know your father. Chaebol King, $5 billion dirty, scandals buried in Busan docks, politicians in pockets. By dawn, Korea knows too." He cupped Alexia's tear-streaked face, thumb tracing her stubble with heartbreaking tenderness. "Home, Yobo, I've preparations." As they turned, the room exhaled, witness to war declared. Ha Sangjun didn't sleep that night. In the shadowed expanse of his Gangnam penthouse office, floor-to-ceiling windows framing Seoul's neon pulse, he sat like a statue forged from vengeance. Phone pressed to ear, his voice remained a murmur, commands in clipped Korean to men who owed him souls. Alexia watched from the doorway, swathed in his silk robe, fingers ghosting her shorn scalp every few breaths, disbelieving the stubble. By midnight, the first blade fell. A banker in Singapore, indebted since a 2019 loan shark evasion, received the call. Xian Wu's personal accounts, 8 billion won strong, locked tighter than a tomb. Suspicious transfers. The freeze notice read red tape designed to strangle for months. The real architect sipped ginseng tea, already dialing Zurich. At 2 a.m., the digital storm broke. Not Xian Wu's gala footage, those clips bought and scrubbed from every phone by Iron Lotus fixers before limos peeled away. No, these were ghosts exhumed. Nightclub CCTV of Xian Wu slamming a hostess against a wall, her face blurred but terror eternal. Ex-assistants' affidavits spilling verbal lashings, forced overtime, threats whispered in boardrooms. A 2022 hush money payout to a model, buried under chaebol lawyers, now resurrected. All hit simultaneously, Naver portals, Kakao Talk feeds, global gossip mills. Hashtags erupted. Xian Wu scandal, chaebol monster. By dawn, Xian Wu trended nationwide. Chasun Ilbo screamed Air's hidden horrors exposed. KBS morning broadcasts dissected allegations, anchors stone-faced. Sangjun's network, bloggers terrified into amplification, journalists with favors unpaid, fueled the inferno. Women surfaced. A former intern with bruises, a club promoter silenced years back. Xian Wu's name became toxic, sponsors ghosting, deals vaporizing. But Sangjun pressed on, one call to a Blue House contact, casual as weather. Remember the Busan docs fraud, time it breathes. Prosecutors stirred, Wu Global shares plunged 11% pre-market, wiping 300 billion won. He set the phone down as sunrise gilded the Han River. Alexia approached, hands on his shoulders, her touch grounding the storm within. "Is it finished?" she whispered, voice fragile. "Not yet, Yobo." He covered her hand, eyes distant thunder. "This is prelude. By end, Xian Wu inherits only echoes of power lost." Across the city, Xian Wu jolted awake in his Hanamdong penthouse, phone a war zone of 400 notifications. Missed calls, publicist, lawyers, mother hysterical. Text screamed, "Check Naver now." He scrolled, vitals draining, empire fracturing in pixels. Voicemail from father crushed last. "Office, 10 a.m. Silence until then." The tone Arctic calculus, weighing son's worth against dynasty, chilled deeper than any freeze. Xian Wu dressed in yesterday's white suit, stains mocking him. The air was hunted. Xian Wu arrived at Wu Global Tower under a sky bruised with storm clouds, the skyscraper's glass facade mocking his fall. Security waited in the marble lobby like sentinels, two stone-faced men in black, badges glinting. No greeting, just a curt nod toward the elevators. His keycard beeped denial at the executive floor. One guard swiped his own, escorting upward in silence. The directory screen blurred his name already, digital erasure before flesh met axe. Xian Wu's stomach knotted, white suit rumpled, champagne ghosts still faint. The penthouse office loomed vast, floor-to-ceiling windows framing souls sprawl like a kingdom his father ruled alone. Chairman Wu Minhyuk stood silhouetted against the Han River, back turned, hands clasped behind a bespoke charcoal suit. No embrace, no fury, just the void of appraisal. Xian Wu cleared his throat. "Appa, I can explain. It was nothing. A waitress drunk mistake." "Explain federal probes into Busan manifests." Minhyuk's voice was glacial silk, not turning. "Or shares cratering 17%, board revolt by noon." Xian Wu's mouth dried to sand. Headlines flashed, prosecutors raiding docks, Naver ablaze with his sins. "This is madness, some gangster's wife." Ha Sangjun's wife. The name dropped like plutonium. Minhyuk pivoted, eyes hollowed of paternal warmth, face a ledger balancing losses. "Iron Lotus Dawn. Owns prosecutors, assemblymen, your precious clubs. One call buries us." Xian Wu swayed. "I didn't know." "You never do." Minhyuk's palm cracked the desk, crystal decanter rattling. "Arrogance I funded now devours the empire. Cayman shells cracking, Geneva bribes resurfacing. I choose survival over spawn." Xian Wu lunged forward. "Appa, please, I'm your blood, your heir." Minhyuk pressed intercom. "Security." Doors hissed open. "Trust frozen, cards void. Penthouse company asset vacate by dawn. Mother's cut off, one word, her settlement dies." Xian Wu's world tilted. "You can't strip me bare, I built." "You destroyed." Minhyuk sank into leather, dismissing with a glance. War's at our gate, boy. Fight your shadows alone. Guards gripped Xianwu's elbows, propelling him out, elevator plummeting like his lineage. Streets blurred past, former allies averting eyes, cabs ignoring his hail. By dusk, he'd burn his last cash on a Uedo love motel, white suit traded for shame. Across town, Alexia traced new curls framing her face, Sangjun's reflection in the mirror steady behind her. He breaks, Sangjun murmured, arms encircling. But her eyes held no triumph, only the quiet forge of resolve. The hunt accelerated. 3 weeks later, Xianwu was a ghost of silk and swagger. 15 kilos shed, his once crisp white suit hung like a shroud on his gaunt frame, stubble clawing into a ragged beard. He'd burned through pocket cash in Idiwan flea bags, dodging reporters, old friends who ghosted calls, associates pretending blindness. Mother's line rang dead. Father's ultimatum sealed that tomb. Doors slammed everywhere. Even street food vendors sneered at his face from Naver alerts. Broke, feral, he clung to one thread. Beg the wife, end this nightmare. He staked out the Gangnam penthouse for 7 hours, huddled in an alley's chill, eyes locked on the obsidian tower. Dusk bled into neon when Alexia emerged, solo, heading for a late cafe shift, independence unbowed. Her hair, restyled into sleek cropped waves hugging her scalp, framed a face fiercer now, red uniform swapped for chic black jeans and sweater. Royalty in disguise. Xianwu lunged from shadows, palms up. Please, just 2 minutes, I'm begging. Alexia halted, gaze appraising the wreck before her. No air, just wreckage. What do you want, Xianwu? Her voice steady, laced with winter. Tears cracked his plea. I'm sorry, so damn sorry. Drunk idiot power trip I never meant. Please tell your husband I've changed. I'll grovel, pay somehow, make it stop. He dropped to knees on wet pavement, pride pulverized. Anything. She studied him unmoved. Sorry for the shave, or the you people slur while a room laughed. You broke me for sport, filmed my ruin. Now consequences bite and you crawl. Her words cut clean, no mercy. No mercy for monsters playing victim. A shadow engulfed him. Xianwu twisted, gut plummeting. Ha Sangjun loomed 3 paces off, flanked by 2 ink lotus enforcers in obsidian wool, faces carved stone. Black suit pristine, dragon tattoos peeking like omens, his stare pure executioner's calm. Told to vanish from her sight. Xianwu scrambled up, voice shrill. I just apology, mercy. Mercy. Sangjun's step closed the gap. Xianwu reeled back. You crave salvation, not remorse. His murmur carried death. No bellow, just verdict. He nodded to shadows. Courthouse dawn, prosecutors hungry. Enforcers seized Xianwu's arms, iron clamps. He thrashed futilely, their grip oblivion's preview. Alexia met Sangjun's eyes, steel finding steel. No words needed. As the trio melted into night, Xianwu's wail faded, echo of a fallen god. She leaned into her husband's warmth, the plea a milestone crushed. Justice's gears ground tighter. The courtroom in Central Seoul buzzed like a hive on execution day, wooden benches packed with reporters. Their notebooks poised like daggers, cameras banned but whispers viral ready. Flashbulbs waited outside. Every testimony had fed the frenzy for weeks. Naver live streams dissecting Xianwu's downfall, KBS panels debating chaebol rot. He sat at the defense table, a husk in a ill-fitting navy suit borrowed from a public defender, cheeks hollowed, eyes vacant pits. The heir who once owned nights now owned nothing, but regrets wait. Prosecutors had eviscerated him, parading ex-victims with fresh courage, a nightclub girl with wrist scars from his grip, an intern tearfully recounting slurs and shoves, affidavits from silenced staff. Ironclad CCTV looped on screens. The gala horror, Alexia's braids falling in brutal slow motion, Xianwu's grin demonic. No lawyer could bury that. His defense stammered technicalities, privilege pleas, but the judge, a stern woman with no patience for dynasties, sliced through. The jury filed back after 4 hours, faces granite. Guilty on all counts. Assault, hate crime enhancement, public endangerment. Xianwu didn't flinch, shoulders sagging like melted wax, the fight long fled. The gallery held its breath, socialites who'd toasted him once, now predators scenting blood. Judge's gavel cracked like fate. Mr. Wu Xian, your axe reeked of entitlement's poison. Wealth as cudgel against the vulnerable demands reckoning. 2 years state prison, 5 probation, mandatory re-education. Remand immediate. Legs buckled, his lawyer caught the collapse. Reporters surged, pens flying. Chaebol air caged! In the back row, Alexia watched stone-faced, cropped waves framing resolve, Ha Sang-jun's hand a warm vice on her knee. No glee, no vengeance high, just closure's quiet exhale, wound cauterized. His thumb traced her knuckles, their eyes met, unspoken vow renewed. They slipped out a side door, evading the media gauntlet, black SUV purring to life amid enforcer shadows. The ride home draped in comfortable hush, city lights streaking like shooting stars. Alexia's hand rested on her scalp, scars now strength. Xian Wu's world ended in chains, hers bloomed in protection's fire. That evening, Alexia and Ha Sang-jun stood on the penthouse balcony, Seoul's skyline unfurling below like a canvas of conquered stars. Han River bridges pools in gold, neon towers bowing to night. She leaned into his chest, his arms a fortress around her, dragon tattoos warm against the chill breeze. Her cropped waves stirred gently, no longer ruins but a crown she'd claimed. "It's over," she whispered, voice steady as the city hum. He pressed lips to her scalp, tender where violence had struck. Over for him, never for us. No one would touch her again, not heirs, not shadows. His protection wasn't chain but shield, forged in the fire she'd endured alone too long. Alexia turned in his hold, dark eyes meeting his endless night. Gratitude swelled, not for destruction wrought, but the monster who'd become her guardian. "Thank you for being my blade when I couldn't lift mine." His thumbs brushed her cheeks, erasing phantom tears. "For you, Yobo, I'd raise empires, always." The city glittered indifferent, but their pact echoed eternal. Love that guarded fierce, unflinching. Some beasts deserved keeping, they'd torch worlds to cradle one heart safe. If real love means shielding no matter the ashes, smash subscribe. Comment, what would you do in Alexia's shoes? Share so justice stories find their pack. Bell on more monsters worth unleashing.